Hi guys, I'm currently in my exam period and I have to read books and stuff, but I can't bring myself to read it unless uh I do something fun with it. So this is my latest attempt at studying. I have a paper on seeing and hearing, uh which is also cognitive psychology one. So today I'm gonna read stuff from my book because it's so damn boring to read it by myself. Okay? So I'm gonna read about the nature of sound. Fun stuff. So let's begin. The the nature of sound. Sound waves are fluctuations in air pressure caused by small movements or vibrations of objects, such as a guitar string or someone's vocal cords. As the object moves to and fro, so the pressure in wave increases and decreases. A microphone is a device which contains a diaphragm, a flexible sheet which vibrates in time with the sound wave and whose vibrations are converted into an electrical signal by some form of transducer. And this is also not a bad initial description of the ear. I don't know what that means. Sorry, that's not in the book. That is me. Okay. Microphone is a device which contains a diaphragm, a calm. The time varying electrical signal can be displayed, for example, on an oscilloscope to show the characteristics of the waveform. Some sound sources, such as a tuning fork or many whistles, produce a sinusoidally varying sound wave. Um, yeah, it shows a figure, but you can't see it. Yeah. Changes in the amplitude of the wave are perceived as changes of loudness, and in its frequency as changes of pitch, though loudness and pitch, as we shall see in chapter 6, I probably won't read that, I don't know, are not perfectly predicted by amplitude and frequency. Low frequencies correspond to low pitched sounds, such as that produced by a trombone, whereas high frequencies correspond to high pitched sounds, such as produced by a piccolo. Humans can detect the range of frequencies from about 20 Hz to about 20 kHz. As examples of the frequencies of familiar sounds, the lowest note on a piano is about 27 Hz, and the highest note over 4 kHz. The intensity of sounds is usually expressed in decibels, dB, a scale which expresses by how many times a sound is louder than some reference sound. What's the reference sound? Dude, like I swear, I never get audio even in layman terms. Having to read this in like scientific terms, I can't. I don't even know. Okay. So, anyways, let's continue. Um, in hearing research, intensity is usually expressed as a sound pressure level, SPL, the extent of the change in air pressure produced by sound. The extent change in air pressure produced by sound. How much change in air pressure that the sound produces, I guess. I'm just paraphrasing, whatever. In the decibel sound pressure scale, the reference is 0.0002 dynes per centimeter squared. The smallest pressure which can be detected with a normal hearing for a tone of 1 kHz. Because there are other scales, measurements of this type are designated as being in dB. The formula for calculating the loudness of the sound in dB is 20 times logarithm base 10 PS, which is the pressure of sound, over PR, the reference level of the pressure. So that I don't think that makes sense to me. Like, it's not something I need to know, I guess. I hope. I hope nobody makes me nobody makes me do some equations because that is not what we've been doing in the semester. Anyways, okay. A decibel scale is used because of the enormous range of sound pressure, 1 to the ratio of 1 to 10 million or so, to which the ear is sensitive. What? Wait, hold on. But humans can only detect about 20 kilohertz. How do you... Wait, sorry. How do you... Is the decibel the same thing as hertz? Hertz is frequency, right? Decibel is intensity. So, okay, whatever. I guess it's not the same thing. A frequency is definitely not intensity, right? Or is it? I don't know. The book doesn't make sense. This book doesn't make sense the whole year round. If somebody can help me, please. Anyways, okay. A logarithmic scale compresses the range and makes the larger numbers more manageable. By definition, a barely audible sound is 0 decibel, of course. Other typical values in decibel are rustling leaves, about 20 decibels, conversation, 40 decibels, jet aircraft at takeoff, 140 decibel. That's really high, so you know. Sounds of about 120 decibel cause pain and impair hearing. So that's why when you're in like an aircraft that's about to take off, which causes 140 decibels, which is above the threshold of 120, your ears will be like, ouch. Right. Anyway, most sounds are not simple sinusoids. So sinusoids is not explained here, but I know what it is. Sinusoids are like wave sounds. So it's like if you're you can just Google it. You'll find it. Anyway, figure 1.12b, which you cannot see, okay, um, depicts white noise, a sound in which all audible frequencies occur with random amplitudes, which can be thought of as a complementary sound to that of a pure tone. A pure tone is single frequency, constant amplitude. See, this book makes it way harder than it is because it's really just saying what white noise is, which is like the background noise. That's about it. But they had to put in with like all audible frequencies occur with random amplitudes, blah blah blah. I'm sorry. I'm so bitter. Anyway, between these two extremes are sounds composed of several frequencies, often a fundamental frequency and its harmonics, frequencies which are multiples of the fundamental frequency. I don't get that. Whatever. And then there's another figure which represents a distribution of luminance across space, which could equally well represent the fundamental frequency of a sound together. Whatever, I don't care. Figure 5 is not here. Whatever, it's far in the chapter. Ah. Anyways, I'll put in the page and book I've been reading in the description below, so you can go check it out. So bear with me. We just have one more page to read, and then we're like done for this video. There's more, of course, but I think the next one I'm gonna talk about what is in our ear. I find that one better because like I can actually relate to myself because I have an ear. Oh my god, you guys, I have an ear. Anyway. So the next subtopic is about presenting sounds in experiments. So sounds are presented via loudspeakers or headphones. I guess this is what they use in research. So the ideal output device for research purposes should have a flat frequency response. For a fixed input voltage, the output should have the same level for all frequencies and should not introduce distortions, which are components of the output that were not in the input, or phase shifts between different frequencies. Say, delay the output of high frequencies with respect to low frequencies. Moore, 2012, discusses how well various types of headphone and loudspeaker meet this ideal specification, and most do not. Headphones have the advantage that they are cheaper and the sounds that they produce are not influenced by room acoustics. So this part is just talking about like how to present sounds when you do experiments. Yeah. Okay. So like what things to control and stuff because like this is what they do in hearing parts. Anyway, Moore mentions the emotic research. I don't know how to say it. Emotic. It's EYMOTIC. Research ER2 earphone, which fits into the ear and has a flat frequency response, varying by less than more or less 2 decibels. Um, positive 2 decibels or negative 2 decibels, that range, over the range of 100 to 14,000 hertz. Even when thresholds for sounds are being measured, it may not matter that a headphone does not have a flat frequency response, provided that this is known so that losses in the equipment as well as in the listener can be calculated. Increasingly, auditory stimuli are presented by computer. Depending on their nature, they may be generated by the computer as the experiment proceeds, or recorded offline and stored on the computer's hard disk in digital form. To produce the highest audible frequency, say 20 kilohertz, each cycle of the wave needs to be sampled at least twice to capture the peak and the trough. So this is in the sinusoids, like sinusoids are sound waves. So in waves, you have the peak, which is like the high parts, and trough, which is like the low part. Trough, I don't know. I'll just say whatever I think is right. Anyway, so at the rate at which the sound is sampled needs to be greater than 40 kilohertz. Digital recorders and computer sound cards often have 16-bit resolution, so that's 65,536 voltage levels for each sample can be stored. Processing of the signal, like filtering to remove or reduce the amplitude of some frequencies, can also be done by computer. So what that does basically say is like the stuff that you hear, the file sounds, they're all done in computer to like manipulate stuff. So now you know how to like do a sound experiment correctly. Congratulations. I understood that part more than I did with the nature of sound. So sorry, I'm always so bitter when I read about this topic, which is why I'm not gonna use this. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you guys. Anyways, that is it. That is 2 chapters. I will do stuff I've studied, I guess. So that's about it. I don't know why anyone is still listening, but thanks for listening. Anyway, okay, I'm ending this here.